Hello, Maika Ikako. Joe Souza here, actually in our sound studio. I'm so excited because I'm going to be sharing about our history and what drove us and our innovations. In this first installment for 2024, we're going to take a look back at our 25 years as we celebrated our 25th anniversary and really look forward to the next 25 years and how those innovations drove us to where we are today. So everybody sit back, relax, and just ask Joe. Let's take a look at this instrument. Now, of course, the inspiration of this instrument and everything that is involved with it is truly a playable masterpiece. Now, in this case, this is a 4-string super concert that was built in June of 2001. So even then, we're already pushing the envelope as far as design with a concert body and a tenor scale. And the inlay work is really what the inspiration behind this instrument was, to showcase the art of luthiery and putting together pieces that were unique of the time onto an ukulele. So bear claw, master grade spruce, master grade koa, back and sides, ebony fingerboard bridge with a koa head plate, and everything bound and purfling. So we had an ivoroid binding top and back with a front, back, and side purfling, all with paua abalone, a koa wood inlay rosette, similar to today, but trimmed with paua abalone. And then, of course, this almost banjo-inspired vine inlay that I did on the fingerboard, and wrapping that vine inlay in paua abalone even up onto the head plate. So this instrument, the Pookela, which in Hawaiian, of course, means champion, was truly a champion of its time. But what was so surprising as we brought this instrument out of the archives was what it sounded like. Here's an instrument that's 23, 24 years old, and what does it sound like? And so when we put on the strings, it surprised me on how beautiful the sound was. Here, take a listen. Now let's take a closer look at this beauty. Really, the two custom instruments, both the Pookela and this custom 4-string tenor Brazilian rosewood back and side cedar top, kind of reminiscent of our K3 as far as the different accessories, but really truly a custom because of the Brazilian rosewood and of course the cedar top. But this being made back in June of 2003, whereas the Pookela was myself only as a luthier, as a solo shop. But by this time in 2003, we already had our first employee, Alistair McNeil. How's Alistair? And he and I were, of course, collaborative on this instrument. I know Alistair loved to shape necks. He was really, really good at it. He had a great instrument feel, so guarantee he helped shape the neck. And then, the actual design and the building of the instrument was kind of a combination with utilizing this really prized tone wood. In fact, the cedar that we used to build this instrument, we still have some of that stash. It's in my Joe's stash area. And I find it to be some of the best sounding tone woods that we ever built from. I love cedar. I love the tone. And again, this combination of tone woods with these accessories was cutting edge at the time. Back in 2003, nobody was building an ukulele from Brazilian rosewood with cedar and these kind of accessories, especially in a tenor size. So having that innovation and pushing the envelope then was so important. And even this, it has such its own unique voice. It's very clear, very concise in its tone, and I'll go ahead and try and share a little bit and showcase it. ahead and take a look at this instrument. It's a 4-string concert, all koa body, double Pooka. What's going on here? Well, when we started to look at different ways of designing the bracing, and even looking at from the Pookela to the custom Brazilian Rosewood, and the thickness of the body and the thickness of the bracing, and start to look at how do we improve tone. Well, here was a double Pooka, which in turn led to totally redesigning our bracing system from the ground up to create a tone. And the idea was to open up that soundboard, or open up the middle of the soundboard, which in this case it did. And this really set the groundwork for what we would call today our D shape, which has a totally redesigned bracing system, even from this, with our truer bracing, and ultimately a better tone, at least from a player's point of view. As a builder, I enjoyed the whole redesigning of our bracing to get this sound. So let's take a listen to this 4-string concert. Now let's take a look at this soprano. At this point, this is December of 2007, and we start to see some serious changes as we started to employ more innovations. I mean, it all reflects even as we were in life, right? Now, cell phones started to become a normal thing in 2007. Well, here we are using lasers and CNCs in our factory in 2007 to really achieve an accuracy that was basically unattainable to us. But we're looking at the tone, right? So in this case, our true bracing, first generation, in combination with what ultimately set the groundwork for our silk finish. So here's a version of what we would consider the early stages of our silk finish, where today all of our instruments, as far as the necks go, have a silk finish. And we're looking at the feel, the durability, and of course, the playability in this case with the sound. Now, this instrument, as we got all of those innovations, really reflect in the tone. So I'll go ahead and take a listen to this 2007 Soprano. Mahalo nui for joining us today. It's so exciting to look back at all of these different instruments and truly the evolution of Kanile'a as we look forward to our next 25 years. If you like our videos, go ahead and hit that like button. If you love the videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can stay on top of everything that we're doing as Kanile'a Ukulele. In fact, a lot of this Just Ask Joe segment is based on you. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them there in the comments. In fact, what was your favorite instruments of the ones that we showed you today? Was it the beautiful one? Was it the beautiful sounding one? Go ahead and leave it there in our comments. Also, when we were playing this soprano, one of the things that I loved was how it sounds picked. So let me go ahead and pick on the soprano so you can hear the sound for yourself as we kind of check our way out. It's good seeing everybody. Aloha no.